Okay, let me make sure we're set up here and everything. Alright. Reset my position. Okay, I think we're just about 100% much smoother than we were before, so definitely pretty good on that. So, where did we last leave off? Hold on, let me adjust my microphone real quick as my VTubing arms continue to spaz out. So, your boy has managed to fix his pits, his 3D pits. Apparently I'm scraping my pop filter now. I decided to bust out the pop filter again because there might be a difference in quality of my audio if I use the pop filter, because I just realized the whole time I still have like a wind cover on my microphone for some reason, and I haven't used my pop filter in a long time. So the audio that might be coming out from my voice is probably going to be a lot more clean now. The only other thing is that this thing needs a soundproof cover if I want to make it sound a little bit more professional. Oh, that's another thing I just noticed, is that... Okay. There's a smudge on my hand, I just realized that. I mean, it's not like it's going to be really apparent anyway, so... Okay, I think we're going to be fine for the most part. So it looks like my left arm is just going to be acting really funny, while my right arm over here is going to be pretty Gucci, I would hope. So I think my movements right now are a bit more stabilized because I minimized the mouth tracking a little bit, and my... Let's see here. Okay, maybe I might need to move myself a little bit, but I think we're fine. Okay. All rise. So where did we last leave off on this game? We left off with the, I'm trying to remember what case it was. It was... 1, 2, 3... Case number 4. We haven't started case number 4 yet, and it's actually one of the shorter cases, but it's actually also one of the most climactic cases of this game series. Before we get to that, though, let's see if I need to help out any homies over in... Ow! What's scratching my pop filter? I feel bad. I feel bad for keeping on scratching my pop filter. Anywho... Again! I did it again! Okay, hopefully I'm not scratching it, because every time I turn my head way too sharply, my headphones just keep on scratching my pop filter. I don't want that to keep on happening. I don't want to ruin my good pop filter. Well, the pop filter is kind of, tuckered out anyways for being used all these years. Could kind of use a little bit of a repair, but then again, why repair it when you could just get a new pop filter? Oh, I should have put a rogue on this level. Damn, okay. Yeah, this is a major friendly rogue level, honestly. Give me the 100 gold. Get 2 units to level 20. Kill 10 ranged units. Alright, so if anybody in the chat is ready for our first round of Stream Raiders tonight, I can go ahead and get our first round started. Although I kind of low-key want to wait it out a little bit. See where we are on our map and whatnot. Okay, so it says I need to place 4 paladins. Would I need to place a paladin in this level? Well, maybe... Maybe I could. Or maybe I could do it on when we get to... Well, these levels are about to be similar, however. The refresh time on a paladin is like, what? Yeah, it's a 60... It's like a 1 hour cooldown. So I guess we could put a paladin down for now. But in order for me to have a paladin down effectively, I would need... I would need a healer. I'll put my paladin over here because I have a feeling that maybe he would do a little bit better against the slime Phallos over here. Let me see if this command works now. Okay, I think everything is working tonight. Hey, thank you for the host, Kiba. I definitely appreciate it. Actually, I did not mind my arm retracting there that time. As long as my left arm is not visible, we should be okay. So, I actually spent a lot of extra time to... I was originally going to start early, but then after I received some... First of all, I didn't really get some proper rest. That's on me. Second of all, I also needed to take some additional time to make sure my model over here could be refined and perfected as best as possible. And I did some outlines to myself. I had to get rid of the skin that was popping out in my old model before. And I also want to make sure that we did some stabilizing in our expressions. I took care of some settings, and I also decided to fix my microphone a little bit. And I think, honestly, we should be in pretty good performance for the evening, or for this going forward. And if I want to make a YouTube video, I could probably make, like, a YouTube video as this dude going forward, honestly. Anyways, so. What was I doing again? Cell shading does help to stand out. Let me see if I could do a cell shading option in my program here. If I could do that. I mean, even if there's no cell shading, I'm fine without it, honestly. There's a little bit of gradient between my, between the section of my ear and the section of my chin. But overall, I think this is pretty good for what we have here. Oh my god, that's a bloom. I do not like that. That's ambient occlusion. What about the intensity of it? Oh my god, this looks very horrendous. Yeah, this is horrendous. I do not want to use this. Lens distortion. Now I know what that does. Oh. Now I know what this does. Nope, don't do that. Nope, we're probably gonna do that for a scary game, maybe. Yeah. I wanted to actually put an outline on my clothes, on my model's clothes, but the main issue with that is that because of the way the clothes are configured, it's going to create some additional outlines, some very faint, invisible lines that are right out, like, I don't know how to best describe it, but it's visible a distance away from my model's skin. So, the main outlines that I have right now are mostly on the skin portions of my character. This is still fine, though. This is still fine. Anywho, let's see how we're doing on our Stream Raiders maps. Just need to minimize my program a little bit. I think I'm actually really fine using Vroid and VC Face to its full extent right now. Hey, Battle Baby's here. Ah, thank you for the Orc Slayer, Kiba. Let's take a look at what we need next. Oh yeah, let's also make sure to give you a proper shout out. Kiba the Barbarian. Because we're still waiting for people to trickle on in. Let's just help out other people in Stream Raiders in the meantime, as the good Samaritan we are. A lot of these levels are very similar, but I just place whatever units I decide to put down. In the meantime, I still need 2 more minutes. This is definitely... Whenever we see, like, 2 dragons and nothing else, this really is basically an all-rogue map. But at the same time, I don't want to completely lose my rogue. We should be good for Stream Raiders for now. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so where the heck did we last leave off? So in Trials and Tribulations, to get everybody caught up in what the heck is happening, the last case had us dealing with, well, a murder case, a poisoning case in which somebody tried to impersonate the protagonist, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and somehow got a guilty verdict for the client. Fast forward maybe like 1 month later, boom, the real Phoenix Wright comes back from vacation. We have to have the retrial. We confronted the phony, recently got the phony on the witness stand, and got him to confess his knowledge about, well, a piece of information about the poisoning. And we got him the guilty verdict and put behind bars. The second case was a case of larceny as well as homicide, in which at first the witness who wanted to be framed for larceny used it as an excuse to get away from being accused of being a murderer. Now, the fourth case that we're about to head into, Turnabout Beginnings, is actually one of the most climactic cases of the franchise, because it actually ties into Turnabout Memories, because it goes back onto talking about and going to the past of the protagonist's mentor, Mia Wright, who was the previous Ace Attorney before the protagonist, Phoenix Wright, became the Ace Attorney. And somehow the French chef speaks Spanish. It is kind of sus. It is kind of sus. It makes you like wonder if the person is a really genuine individual, even though you have to feel bad for the person who is in, like, what, so many dollars worth of debt. Alright, so let's continue. That's true, he did ask a loan shark. The whole thing with, like, loans and whatnot is just really why I never took on student loans in college to begin with, because one of the main issues with dealing with loans is that they just get passed on from owner to firm and whatnot, etc., etc. It just becomes one whole huge mess that just explodes out of proportion. That's just what ends up happening. And also my arm just retracted because my tracking is just amazing. Then again, I don't expect the tracking to be perfect. If anything about this tracking is that I love the finger movements of how mostly accurate it is. The arms are just pretty janky, but then again, part of it is because the software that I'm using my model on is not a perfected software, but it really does get the job done for a free software, so I'm liking it. Can't complain too much. Alright. Anywho. Let's load the game. On average, people on YouTube take 1 hour 30 minutes for this. The girl! Let her go! Ooh, I like the quality of this, actually. Shut up! Come closer. and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Bang. Whee! And my nose is itchy right now. And there's Mr. Protagonist right there. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Terry Falls. Kidnapping, murder, sentenced the death penalty. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Why am I getting goosebumps right now? Oh hey, it's Mia's thing at the bottom. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court Defendant Labri Numero 4. You know what's pretty interesting? Like, this painting over here, I know it's meant to be like a crosswalk or something, but for some reason, I don't know what's up with my brain, but I keep seeing this as a weird creature's face, like a Venom-style face. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who sees that painting as something else besides a crosswalk. It feels weird that my brain thought about that. Oh, by the way, Kiba, what'd you guys get done in Lord of the Rings Online recently? Feels like you've been having quite the fun with the with your buddies in that game recently. Anywho.
I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Eek! Good morning.
Don't be so jumpy, Mia.
I didn't do nothing. I swear, I didn't kill nobody.
Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway?
I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere.
But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Sorry. I told a little lie.
Oh boy.
But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody.
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right?
I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago. I was tricked, I tell you. I was tricked. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that.
2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. And about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could capture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman?
Oh, yeah. I did. She's the reason I escaped.
So that much is true. He did meet with the victim.
But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true.
I can trust him, right? I mean, I should.
Is my audio alright? Just want to make sure because, where my face is turning, this is where my microphone is. And I feel like if I'm not speaking directly into it, I would be... my microphone audio would sound kind of funny. So, I just want to make sure of that.
Yeah.
You're not going out to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy.
Why are you here?
I came to see how little kitten was doing all alone in that big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with.
Where's Mr. Grossberg?
That old man's probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle, mumbling to sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando.
I didn't say. So, Diego, Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me?
No, you've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, escaped death row convict for our first client.
Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though.
Relax. I just heard some good news. Prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. That amigo's going down.
Really?
However, like a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career.
Genius.
Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours, it's go time.
A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth.
He's probably going to get convicted anyways. I feel like it's going to be a losing case. I don't really have a good feeling about this case in general, considering that my plot senses are tingling. My literal plot senses are tingling. I think I'm gonna quote that, actually. There we go. Damn, we got a lot of quotes now. We got like over 300 quotes. This is crazy. Let's see what the radar quote generator will say today. Pink! Oh my god, I remember that. Wait, that was like last summer? January 16, 10 a.m. We're in the courtroom.
Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls.
Normally I would actually do a judge voice, that would be the old man judge, but like this dude is like a bit younger, so
we're gonna be rolling with this kind of voice from now on.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey.
Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor.
So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age.
At 20, Your Honor.
I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh?
Yeah, we know that dude is Godot. We could clearly see that he's holding the coffee mug.
Come on, Mia, you can't lose, not to someone younger than you.
Young people running a trial. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct?
Precisely.
But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered.
So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death?
You got it, kitten.
Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old.
A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted.
Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony.
A witness's testimony?
So Phoenix Wright made him have gray hair. It's a different judge. There's two different judges. This one's the younger judge. I don't know if they're related or not, but I guess we're to assume they're related? In a way? Accidentally got water on my thingy, but we're good. The outlet. We're still connected. My hand tracking is still connected. We're good.
A witness's testimony.
The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. That's true. Can't forget about the coffee guys for sure. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never discovered.
So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away.
That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be...
Exactly, the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne.
I see. That man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now.
Huh?
Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty.
But wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor.
Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice.
Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders.
Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness.
I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Is it Gumshoe? Oh hey, it is Gumshoe, in a different coat. What I'm saying is Phoenix Wright made him... I think it's still two different characters, Kiba. But maybe you're not wrong about that part. If they confirm that it's the same character... However, remember, for anybody who was here for the second case had two different judges. And this blonde judge actually took on the case of... this blonde judge was originally going to hand down the sentence for larceny on the actual murderer before we actually interrupted the sentencing and brought the dude back to our courtroom in order to get him the guilty verdict of murder. Witness, state your name and occupation.
Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago.
I don't believe anyone would ask you about that.
Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes?
What is it?
You're really gorgeous.
Excuse me?
No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you.
Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache.
Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. Actually, speaking of the autopsy report,
Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, escaped from custody 2 days ago. Key witness in the case against Terry Falls. She was a sergeant at age 23? Yo, Pogs? Huh.
The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then have you no proof that they even met there?
Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir?
Here we go, Mia. Hang on.
Okay, now listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy would drink it for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Summary of the incident.
On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge.
Naturally.
Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination coming right up.
Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee.
Oh, I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here.
Courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner.
I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant's the witness. Everyone's a beginner here.
You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten.
It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all night watching.
She stayed up all night watching. What now? Anyways, cross-examination time. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony.
Trap?
Walk into it carelessly and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh?
No, it's not.
Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. If you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards.
Never famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those.
Let's save here for now. Yeah, I can't find any contradictions much, so let's grab some info.
This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right?
Sorry, but I'm afraid I do.
What?
The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant called her. Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls.
A note?
Yeah, a top secret memo that she left on her desk. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls.
Ugh. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me?
Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer.
It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person.
Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to.
Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Mr. Falls had a car then?
Well, that bridge was way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves.
Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything?
This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk.
That's the body.
Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable.
The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct?
Yeah.
For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back.
We're talking about a woman here.
Can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway.
I think there might be something about the photo we can actually say. Oh, she's not wearing her scarf.
Objection!
Okay, that's her first contradiction.
Witness!
Wait, let me pause the music for a second there. Did we win a loyalty skin? Nope, we didn't. Alright, time to get our Stream Raiders battle started. Really? Do I need to use the bathroom right off the bat? I'm just now getting hydrated tonight and I already need to use the restroom already. It is way too early for this kind of thing for... Then again, if nature calls, my dudes. Nature calls, crew quarters. Although I feel like that music is going to be short-lived. Because... "12 units were placed on the battlefield. I hope we were good with 12 units. Alright, folks. Let's see if we can make haste with this. Here we go. Well, that was quite something, I could say. Hopefully, we can have people join in on this one now. Hopefully. Anyways, let me turn the music back on. Let me also reset myself real quick. So that way I can make sure that...
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, cell shading definitely helps out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so... Oh yeah, I noticed that. There's like a level 10 dudes over here. Oh, there's a level 20? No wonder that's been happening. There's a level 20 unit. Oh, thank you for the epic paladin, Maffy. That's appreciated. It's kind of funny how this theme used to be Mia's theme, primarily, and now it's become Phoenix Wright's signature theme instead of the classic Ace Attorney Objection theme. I wonder where Ace Attorney is going to, go moving forward, honestly. Anywho.
Witness!
What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye?
I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that.
You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy?
Candy?
Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee.
Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective,
Yes, ma'am.
this photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim.
The note?
It very clearly says, "Wear white scarf for identification." The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where's the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo.
Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am.
And you stopped there? You should have looked for it.
Org! The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this?
I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for, is it this one perchance?
Where'd you find that, sir?
On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know.
That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic.
It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for.
Looks like it spent some time in the mud.
Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day.
Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time.
And thank you for the epic bomber, Leon.
The court will now accept the scarf into evidence.
Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fay?
Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little ass.
I was about to say his smarmy little ass, but then again... Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there.
That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Everything's moving at his very whim.
Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius.
Genius, huh?
Events on Dusky Bridge.
Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up.
It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below.
Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway?
Let's just say that it was well-intentioned third party.
Aha, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify.
The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge.
Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now.
Hmm?
Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty.
Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean,
Not gonna lie, I kind of like Edgeworth's younger mugshot in the bottom there than his older version of himself. Anyways.
Talk about a surprise. He had no idea there was a photo.
So what do I do?
You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean?
Of course I do.
So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance.
So, there's a contradiction in what the detective is saying. I have questions on this statement. How did he go behind her?
Is that part of the witness's testimony as well?
Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal.
Why is this brutal spelled like that?
Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian.
Eh. Save your nasty look for the right person.
Huh?
Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself.
Hey, watch where you spill your coffee.
How could you... Okay, so this statement is the one that has a contradiction. How can you go behind the victim on that bridge?
Objection!
Nope, that's not the right evidence. So this is the statement that has a contradiction. Somebody's online. Let me check. Who's been online lately? Oh, I thought somebody was online. Oh boy. One of these days we'll get to the labyrinth game. One of these days.
Objection!
I feel like it's fairly obvious that this statement is the one that has a contradiction. Because how could the criminal shove her on her back? Yeah, I'm not so sure. Let me press the last statement.
Hold it!
So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh?
That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am.
The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf was so covered in mud, but there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me.
I don't know. Is it the scarf itself?
Objection!
No, definitely not. Maybe overthinking this. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it was a little hard to see what was going on. The photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It was drizzling that day. Maybe it's this statement? I don't know. Is it the crime photo?
Objection!
Why is it the crime photo?
So at the time of the crime, there's a light drizzle coming down, correct?
Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere.
Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere.
But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk.
Considering the conditions at the crime scene, something isn't right.
Edward's face was kind of weird for a sec.
Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day?
Take that!
The jacket is not wet and muddy?
Naturally, the answer is right here.
The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it.
That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzly and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered with mud.
That's exactly right. The other day, I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled.
I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If your honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy.
Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken.
Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day?
The surface of the bridge, huh?
A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this.
Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge is muddy.
Take that!
The evidence is this scarf.
Ah,
It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud.
I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo.
Hey, same to you, buddy.
Order in the court, order in the court.
Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between
The condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. Desk slam. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction?
Huh?
For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we?
All right. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here.
You're doing pretty well for a little kitten.
Mr. Armando.
No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. Is either the victim discovered in the trunk, or the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. It has to be... Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence? It's one of those three.
What you said just now, not so sure I like that.
That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over there that said it.
This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know.
Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one who tried to slip false evidence into the court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is.
Yes. The false evidence in this case is the...
Well, it doesn't look like there's a consequence to this right now, so we can choose like one of the three and see which one is the correct route. I won't say that the photo is incorrect. Well, here's the thing. I think this photo is correct. Wait a minute. What if... No. Okay, I think this photo is correct. Maybe it's the crime photo?
If the victim really did try to repel her killer if she did fall down on the bridge, then you would expect her coat to be dirty. Therefore, the body that was found in the trunk of the car...
It was not the body of Valerie Hawthorne?
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Edgeworth?
Objection. Not only a whisper, but he mixed in as a sigh, too. Valerie Hawthorne was more than a simple meter maid. She was a sergeant. There's absolutely no chance that a mistake about her identity could be made.
I guess he's right.
From this point on, Miss Fey, I will penalize you for making substantiated accusations.
Look, don't do it, Mia. Don't cry until you get home.
In any case,
It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen?
yeah, that's what the witness told us.
That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all.
That's true.
It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was truly a decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called him in the first place.
Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth,
It appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time.
very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time.
What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth?
Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her own very own eyes.
This is it, Mia. The battle begins here.
Witness, what is your name and occupation? Ah, you No problem, Effie.
Everyone's so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter.
When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double in a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite.
Hey, not so fast.
As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Fey, you could learn a lot from this man.
If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir?
Yes, my dear?
This is my first time, so I'm sure you'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just want to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I made cause.
Not at all. It's no trouble at all.
Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student. A freshman in the literature department.
You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct?
And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate?
What? How could you be so mean?
Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that?
Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous.
Next time I'll be forced to penalize you.
Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me?
And you would be...
I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey.
I see. So you are.
Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best.
The witness's photograph, boy.
I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police.
Either way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here.
I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
Wait, that's wrong. Chigo. So you took the photo from that location, eh?
I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to.
Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Alright then, Miss Fey, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Before we deal with that, though... Let's go and see if we are actually prepared for Stream Raiders this time around. I would hope we are. And it appears that 29 units were placed on the battlefield this time. That is a heck of a lot better. Well, let's get it done, folks. Let us get it done. Well, GG's on this one. It appears that Leon has lent the most kills and the most assists this time, with 4 assists and 24 kills. Matthew landed 1 assist and 5 kills. Keepa landed 2 kills and 2 assists. I've landed 3 kills. The Demon Expert is 1. And everybody has lent a noble sacrifice. Alright, let's do another one. Frontier Ambush. What are we to do this time? Guess I could put another paladin, I suppose. Also, let me make sure that my model is working and in action. Thank you, Leon, for the epic Nightmare Barbarian. Alright. I think we're good. Ready to go. She clearly was not standing in the correct spot.
If Terry Falls isn't the criminal,
Hold on a second.
then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony.
Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers.
I'm gonna have to come up with something really good, Mia.
Oh boy. Is it this photo?
Objection!
Oh, that was easy.
Witness? When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I could see in this photo are 2 people facing each other.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, first of all, where she identified her location from where she took the photo was... Is my arm going to cooperate? Yes, it's going to cooperate. So, one part, where she said she took the photo from was kind of sus. Because where she was standing... Hold on. Where she was standing, she claimed she was standing from over here. But... you could kind of get the photo could actually probably get blocked by this natural surrounding here. And second of all, this literally looks like just 2 people facing each other. It doesn't look like a critical moment unless you're hiding a photo from the officials. Then that means there must be some kind of perjury going on.
You testified that you saw the 2 starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that?
Well, you see...
The photo we presented was the only one there was.
But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it.
Doe. My apologies, young lady. A misphase assertion is not without a certain amount of merit.
You could certainly downplay a situation, Katie.
I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean.
You ran out of film.
This photo was the last one.
What?
Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself, playing among the wildflowers.
The witness herself? Then who took the photos?
Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it.
So you took photos of yourself?
I remember taking some photos of myself once too.
Please, no details.
It seems that Miss Fey's assertion was not so decisive after all.
Wait, just a minute.
Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh?
Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
Very well then. Let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes, Mr. Judge.
Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk.
Huh. Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Alright, so this is new testimony. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Wait. I think it's the map. I don't know my measurements, but I'm sure 10 yards is covers a lot of distance. Now, if you guys look at this map, does this look like a spot where you could run 10 yards away before you get stabbed?
Objection!
No. Hell no, it's not.
Witness, your testimony is a joke.
Huh? What? Oh, but I just...
Miss Fey, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry.
One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse.
You say there were 2 contradictions?
It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then,
She would have hit a dead end.
she said 10 yards, but she couldn't even have ran 5. Because Dusky Bridge has collapsed on that side.
Using our brain meats.
What does this all mean?
It's very simple, Your Honor.
Shy Guy, thank you for the epic berserker.
This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it.
This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion.
What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram.
What did you say?
What are you referring to?
It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge, we couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So you're saying...
I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident.
That's ridiculous.
You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence.
The guy's good.
Huh? What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy.
What? A coward.
Oh, Miss Fey, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
No, 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 no. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
Witnessing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaking up.
If he accepts his testimony as it is, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte.
This trial isn't over yet.
That's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Fey. Your cross-examination, if you please.
The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack.
Running from the crime. Hey, kitten. Have you ever put salt in your coffee?
No, why would I?
Why not?
Huh?
It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is, if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence.
He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose.
By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all. After he stabbed her in the back, he picked her up. Quickly picked her up in his arms, then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Hey, Malastrix, welcome. Thank you for the epic archer. You mean that...
You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself?
Yes.
Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult.
Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to carry a dead body on a bridge like that?
Objection!
Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly.
Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden?
Miss Fey, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This has to be the statement. If you want to get rid of a body, he probably could have just thrown the body over the bridge.
Objection!
There we go.
A killer not wanting his victim to be found? I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found.
Well, what is it?
Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something very interesting about the river.
For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered.
In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water.
That's true. If the current is that high, that's a better chance than actually, like, putting a body in the trunk of a car.
Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river.
Oh,
Well, Mr. Edgeworth,
How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. Yo, thank you for the host. Oh, I love that name. Keanu Reeves. Yo, thank you for the host. Can we give a shout out for Keanu Reeves if they were streaming? I appreciate the host, though.
What are you talking about?
My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this was what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw.
quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all.
Objection!
But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous.
Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again.
Who's he talking about?
Alright, I'll do my best.
Oh my god, now it gets to the serious music. We have no moderator here. We go ahead. I'm taking it that you're a fan of this franchise, and that you're probably excited for the great Ace Attorney Chronicles coming around the corner. Well, so am I. This is actually my first time playing the game, even though literally the trilogy came out when I was in middle school. And I got to watch playthroughs of it in high school, but I never played it myself, so here I am playing it for my first time. But if you also play Stream Raiders, I do happen to play Stream Raiders as well. Speaking of which... Shoot. We still have 11 minutes or so on our map. We should be fine. Interesting. Okay. I was checking to see what language the dude speaks, and it's English and Spanish, but mostly Spanish. I am English and Chinese Mandarin. Anywho. Wait, she said he broke into the trunk of the car? He broke? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. You claim this is what you have seen. But how do you know that when... Okay, here's what I'm getting the gist of. If she's saying... Oh my god, this is so obvious. If she said she was standing here, how did she know what was going on in the trunk? Hold on.
Objection!
There we go. We're using our noodles. We're using our noodles tonight. We're figuring this out.
Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time.
Done what?
Made a crucial mistake.
A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye?
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
How does she know that when she... Let me actually explain. If she said she was standing over here, right? How could she see what's going on over there? That means instead of being over here, she was right over here instead. That's how it was explained. Thus, we actually used the map twice to break her testimony here. GG's, folks, GG's.
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you try to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way.
Huh.
That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car.
I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car.
That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine.
I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You could clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff.
Ah.
Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, when you still claim to have been able to see the killer's car.
No!
Order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo?
Objection!
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it.
Objection!
But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only what she saw with her own eyes.
Oh,
Mr. Judge?
what is it?
I think I think I must have remembered things wrong.
Hold it!
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that.
Miss Fey, no one on the face of the planet is perfect.
Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here.
What?
That's not fair.
Save the tears for later, kitten.
Mr. Armando?
Don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward.
But that wasn't fair.
Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Now you need to remember the other kitten's testimony.
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and had the body in there.
So tell me, how did she know that?
Yeah, exactly. How did she know that?
How did she know that he broke into the trunk?
Aha.
Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Fey, are you satisfied?
The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here.
Okay, do I have to actually choose? Yep, I have to choose an answer. Is there a contradiction?
Melissa Foster? It looks like you finally betrayed yourself.
What?
You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her.
I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here.
Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Fey explained herself.
Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches.
Yes? What is it?
Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the poison prison garb. He's the one that...
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open.
But he stole the car.
He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk.
No!
Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs.
Now is your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary,
Remember, the camera can actually be activated with a timer, so there's a good chance that the timer was activated to take that photo.
on the contrary, I'm not so certain about that, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself.
Take that!
Let's take another look at the camera. and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture.
What are you trying to insinuate then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed?
Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field.
Will the defense please explain further?
Listen, this is a crucial point.
We gotta save for that. This is a crucial point, but we do have a crucial battle to take care of. Alright, let's make sure we take care of this first. Before we get to the so-called crucial point. Alright, so we got Zero's Theory, Neem Expert, Leon, Malistrix, Cybernstrix, so I guess you two are together. Kiba, Kione, Maffy, and Shy Guy here. Oh, we got the whole squadron up in here, what do you know? We have, like, ranged people here. I feel like we got a bunch of ranged people here. And let's still go crazy. GG's. Shy Guy has landed the most kills at 13 kills and 1 assist. With a Neem Expert coming in at 6 kills, 2 assists, Leon with 5 kills, 1 assist, Maffy with 3 kills, 2 assists, Sabinstrix with 1 kill, 3 assists. I landed 3 kills alongside Zero's Theory. And it seems like 3 assists was the most amount of assists we've gotten. Eva landed 1 kill, 1 assist. Malistrix landed 1 kill, and Kiba has lent a noble sacrifice. For that, we're going to give this over to Shy Guy for landing the most kills. GG's. Great job on that one, folks. And we got some Orc Slayer scrolls, and we got some gold. We'll take those rewards. Alrighty then, what are my quests left? 2 more paladins. That should be fine. Let's do this token level so that way we can get a crap ton of tokens for these, for everybody's battle pass. Let's see. Okay, I can't use another... However, I can use an Orc Slayer though, so that should be pretty good for this level. Alright, folks, y'all know what to do. If only I could get my Barbarian to level 20 as well, that would be terrific. Heck yeah, terrific. Alright, let me finish placing my units, and... Oh, I can actually... What do I need to do? Place 5 war beasts? Wait, who needs a war beast, actually? I mean, Curry could use a war beast. I could put one on his map. Yeah, this is a one skull map. We should be fine. What about this map over here? Okay, so now, if there's room... There we go. That should work. Alright, so... My dude says this is a crucial point.
Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? And answering that question will also make it clear of Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred?
She was on this side, pretty much.
Naturally, the witness was standing right here.
Well, what do you think of Mr. Edgeworth?
Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Miss Faye should do something to herself. She should figure out where she stands, if you catch my drift. Maybe we have to be more at a more precise... Maybe you have to be more precise about where she was standing. Maybe she was standing at the car? Give me 1 second, folks. I'm currently typing something on Discord at the moment. Okay, anyways. Let's see what happens. As far as my hand tracking. Let's see what happens if we put our... If we put the indicator on the car. Maybe if we put the indicator on the car...
Naturally, the witness was right here, I think.
In the spot where the defendant's car was.
Yes, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned.
You don't mind if I ask you one teensy-weeny question, do you, Ms. Faye?
Oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice.
If she put the body in the trunk at that time, as you suggest, that must mean that Valerie Hawthorne was already dead at that point, correct? Okay. I see where he's going. Indeed. Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. It certainly looks to me like the victim is still alive, am I mistaken? If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? The mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim?
Well, it could have been a spirit, right?
Miss Faye, don't waste the course time with this kind of... Oh, damn it. They have different written scenarios for this? Wow, I got jebaited. There's only one other possible reason. This is very, very... Here's the thing, guys. I am not... For the record, I am not looking at a website. I'm not looking at a guide for this answer. But the one last choice that I have, and this will be kind of outlandish, is this spot right here.
Naturally, the witness right here. But
That's where the victim is Hawthorne was standing. Order, order, order. Miss Faye, what on earth? I'm thinking the same thing myself. That's my last resort. Like, the only other spot she could have been was directly on the bridge.
Your Honor, if I may... After parting with the quote-unquote victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by the car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the quote-unquote victim.
How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls.
You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne.
Actually... Oh yeah, if we take a look at this photo right here, we can't explicitly see whose face that is. Oh, sorry, did we destabilize for a moment, folks? I don't want to continue if we, destabilize for a bit. In that case, I'm just gonna ask people to just refresh, please. Thank you.
Objection!
I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the quote-unquote victim in this photo?
It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness.
What?
It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Fall spit on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster.
Me?
Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne.
Objection!
But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted.
But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore.
You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? Oh, darn it. We have to find some proof. And it appears that we are probably buffering again. Yeah, it's weird. It's like the buffering occurs at very weird times. Okay, are we restored? I feel like if I actually want to, because of how late I start, I might just go through like one half of this and just save the other half for probably Sunday. So we can actually like wrap this up on Sunday, and then we can... I feel like there's like another game we could like do again on Sunday for sure if I want to take a break tomorrow. Read this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sure. Yeah, if we're disconnected constantly, then I won't finish this case tonight. I'll finish it on Sunday. So I think I might chillax tomorrow, just to make sure that, like, this and other stuff over here are working. Also, I might low-key want to try and, maybe do a Discord hangout. Maybe we can make a YouTube video together with, like, me on over here. Okay, I think we're getting back in order. I think? Okay, I think we're back in order. Also, Discord needs an update. Alright, refresh, folks. Just like Discord needs to refresh. Anyways, we need to present some proof.
I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence would blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like.
Is it the note?
Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face.
Oh, okay. I'm connecting dots now. I'm connecting dots. The note says, wear white scarf for identification. There we go.
That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster?
No!
Did she just fly away, or... Oh, she collapsed on the witness stand. I thought she just flew away because it looked like she was getting blown away by Mia.
Where's Miss Foster?
She's collecting herself in the lobby.
It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together.
The only question is, why did she do it?
Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit.
Eh. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understood.
Very well. This court is in recess.
Even if it's a small, short trial, if I started early, I would have finished it tonight. But it's okay. We could put a bookmark on it at this point. Okay, so let's get back in business. Well, actually, I do need to take a recess myself to compose myself. So it looks like we got a token chest here. Lovely. Alright, so I am going to take a little intermission myself. And in the meantime, if anybody still has not, still needs placed one more troop, they got 4 minutes to do so left. So let's get that going, folks, and I will be right back.